What is going on, guys? It's your boy Solomon here, back in the video, and today we're going to be going over my top 10 teams in the NFL going into the 2023 NFL season. This list is off how they did last year, plus how they did in the offseason, how they, if they picked up any key free agents or traded for anyone or drafted really well. It's not that complex. We're going to get right into this video, but first, if you guys are new, please drop a sub. It takes 2 seconds. Y'all can do it right now while listening to this. We are so close to 350, and I would appreciate it if you guys could. And if you do want to check out my receiver and quarterback list of the most two recent videos, also make sure to comment your guys' top 10 down below. I want to see what you guys have. Comment any recommendations and make sure to like the video, guys. Let's get right into it right now. At number 10, we have the New York Jets. The New York Jets are a very interesting squad because they upgraded their team tremendously this offseason by adding Aaron Rodgers to the team, filling in their big need at quarterback. They needed a quarterback because Zach Wilson was not the answer, obviously, last year. They're going to give him more time to develop, but getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers is really going to help them because he's so experienced. He may be a choke, but he is just going to help the squad tremendously and help them improve. He's so good, and he's going to be thrown to players like Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's just an absolute dog, man. Garrett Wilson could be one of the best receivers in the league next year if Aaron Rodgers throwing it to him. I expect him to have an absolute breakout year of Aaron Rodgers. But their defense is also amazing. They have players like Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner there, DJ Reed. They got a lot of good players, man. And they are going to be a team to be reckoned with, honestly. I don't know how they're going to do in total. There's a lot of great teams in the AFC, but this squad is so talented that they deserve to be at least on this list. So that's why they're at the number 10 spot. At number 9, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are another team that has a lot of talent. On paper, they're one of the best teams in the whole league, man. They're one of the best teams, but they deal with a lot of injuries. For example, Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Derwin James, even Justin Herbert was hurt this year. Khalil Mack, all those guys were hurt, and those are all impact players. They also lost their best tackle, Rashawn Slater, which that's a big loss for them, especially when he's one of the best offensive linemen in the whole league and you lose that protecting your quarterback. But the Chargers are just so good of a team. They have to be on this list. Everyone knows how their season ended last year. They ended up choking a big lead in the playoffs to the Jaguars. But they still had a successful year. They went 10-7, but Brandon Staley is definitely on the hot seat because after choking away a lead like that, man, you cannot be secure in your job. They did get Kellen Moore, though, from the Cowboys. So it'll be interesting to see if their offense does improve with him as offensive coordinator. But overall, this Chargers team is way too talented to not be contended for Super Bowls. Justin Herbert's one of the best young quarterbacks in all of football. One of the best quarterbacks in all of football in general. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are a top 5 receiver duo in the whole league. They just need to stay on the field, man, and they'll get the results. I didn't even mention Austin Eckler, who's been absolutely amazing for them. Austin Eckler is a straight menace. He is one of the best players in all of football. He's a top 5 running back in all of football. But the problem is they never stay healthy. But if they do, you can expect to see the Chargers deep in the playoffs this year. Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars were one of the best teams in all football last year. They had that crazy end of the season where they were just absolutely flaming hot, man. Trevor Lawrence was one of the best quarterbacks in all football, and they just could not lose. Then they made that crazy comeback down 28-0 or 28-3. I don't even remember. It was a lot too little, but they made a crazy comeback against the Chargers, and they made it to the second round where they almost beat the Chiefs, man. It was a very close game. But the Jags, man, they get Calvin Ridley back. Calvin Ridley was a crazy playmaker. A lot of people forgot about him. He's going to be amazing this year with the Jags. Trevor Lawrence is really going to be able to feed him, and they are going to be a dynamic duo. They also have Christian Kirk. They also have Travis Etienne, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. They are absolutely loaded on offense, and they are going to be a team that has something to prove this year. I think this team has the potential to, go deep in the playoffs. I think they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Their defense is no joke either. They are very good, well coached too, to be honest. And they just keep getting better and better. The only way they're going to get better is with age, and they're just a young, hungry team, man. And that's why they're at this number 8 spot. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, the last 2 years, have made trades in the offseason that are absolutely crazy. For example, trading for Tyreek Hill, and then this offseason trading for Jalen Ramsey. They have acquired tremendous talent from guys like Bradley Chubb, to Jeff Wilson, man. So even getting Jalen Waddle in the draft has been absolutely amazing for them. They've also drafted very well recently, besides offensive line. That's their one weakness, I would say. But the Dolphins are one of the most talented teams in all football, man. They are absolutely loaded. And their receiver room is just stacked with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, which are both two top 10 receivers in my opinion. Their running back room, I think Devin Archain is going to be an absolute dog for the Dolphins this year. He's a rookie running back out of Texas A&M. He is slept on. He's going to be a guy that is going to be absolutely amazing. Their tight end position, they're a little weak, Offensive line, I'm not going to lie, their offensive line is one of the worst in the league. They have Teron Armstead, but besides that, Connor Williams, and Robert Hunt are good. But besides that, man, they're very thin. And on the fullback side, they have Alex Ingold, who is very skilled also, just saying. Defensively, their defense is going to improve tremendously under Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is he's one of the smartest football coaches, and he's going to make that team so much more talented. With Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Kader Kadu, that team is just going to be absolutely amazing out there. Javon Holland in the secondary. We also acquired David Long Jr., one of the most underrated linebackers in all football. The Dolphins are going to be good, I'm telling you. Right here, they're at 7s because without Tua, they're really not that great. But Tua, man, his injury concerns are so bad that I have to stick him at 7 here just because he hasn't proved he can get through a full season. But if he can, they are easily one of the best teams in all football. The Dolphins are just way too talented to be off this list, man. And they are going to be on a good – I think they have a chance to win it all this year. I really do think the Dolphins have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we got the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are another very talented team who always seems to fall short, man. Every single year, man. It seems like they have the team. The Cowboys fans say this is their year, the boys are back. But it seems like they fall short, man. But they are very talented. There's no way you can deny that. With Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott, those are all very talented players, man. Zach Martin's one of the best offensive linemen in football. They're so talented, but they always seem to fall short in the end of things. I don't know what goes on, man, but they just can't get past the divisional round, it seems like. I don't even remember the last time they played in the conference championship. But even though all that happened, they are still one of the best teams in all football. Every year, they are consistently really good, to be honest. I mean, the last time they were bad was because Dak was hurt, but now Dak is just, Dak's amazing. They just choke. I mean, there's no other way around it. They're so talented. They play great during the regular season. They look like a juggernaut. Then the wheels fall off in the playoffs, man. The Cowboys, though, they're at the number 6 spot just because of their inability to perform in big games. We'll see if that changes now, but for now, they're going to stay at this spot. Coming in at this number 5 spot, we got the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are an amazing team. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen. They also have one of the best receivers in the league in Stephon Diggs. They have an amazing offense. The running back game, the running backs can be a little better, but James White's very promising. Offensive line-wise, they're very solid too. They got a great defense, a great coach, and they are a team that always seems to make the playoffs nowadays. I mean, I don't even remember the last time they missed the playoffs. They've won the AFC East the last couple of years. And overall, they've been amazing with Josh Allen. But the thing is, something always ends up coming up. They play amazing in the regular season. Same thing with the Cowboys. But when it hits January, something happens, man. They always end up choking, man. This year, they got absolutely hornswoggled by the Bengals, man. The Bengals killed them. Absolutely demolished them this year. And it's disappointing to see, They almost lost to the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson. And that's not really something you want to see from a team that has all this promise and potential, but it seems like every time they make it to the postseason, man, they just find a way to choke, man. They haven't won a Super Bowl yet. I don't know if they will, but their window is here right now, I'd say. With everyone they have, Von Miller, Josh Allen, Von did tear his ACL last year, but he'll be back sooner than later, I think. But yeah, this window is going to close soon, man. They have to get on it now if they really want to win one. Coming in at this number 4 spot, we have the San Francisco 49ers. In my opinion, they were the best team in the NFC last year. They may have not had the best record, but man, they were amazing, man. With Christian McCaffrey, they were absolutely unstoppable. They had one of the best offensive lines in football. They had the best fullback in football, in my opinion. And, Christian McCaffrey played like the best running back in all football. Just this whole quarterback situation messed him up, I'd say. Brock Purdy played amazing when he was in there, but in the NFC Championship, he did go down with, I don't even know what he did. I think he hurt his UCL, but regardless, without a quarterback, you're not going to win, and that's what happened to him. I feel like this 49ers team had the potential to go all the way this year. I even predicted them to win the Super Bowl, actually. But unfortunately, they didn't. The Eagles beat them, demolished them, to be frankly fair. But I feel like that game could have been a lot different if they had a quarterback, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. They ended up losing the NFC Championship, but this team has so much talent. They did lose their defensive coordinator, who was an absolute stud, man. He went to the Texans. He took Jimmy Ward with them, which is a pretty good player, I'd say. So they did lose that, but honestly, I think this team's still very good. They still have a squad, man, and I still think they have potential to go all the way. This team is loaded everywhere, but for now they'll be on 4 on this list, number 4, just because the fact is they couldn't beat the Eagles, man. If they would have beat the Eagles, definitely would have been top 2, but you gotta look at it like that. And we don't know what's going on with Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy, he may be out the whole year, which that would be a big loss for them, I'm not gonna lie. Coming in at this number 3 spot, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals have been a pretty good team the last 2 years. The emergence of Joe Burrow for them has been absolutely phenomenal. Also, drafting Jamar Chase and T. Higgins has absolutely transformed their offense. They've been a really good team. Joe Burrow has been up there one of the best quarterbacks in all football. Jamar Chase is one of the best receivers. Tyler Boyd is very underrated. T. Higgins just does his shit, man. T. Higgins would be a wide receiver number 1 on any other team. He's absolutely phenomenal. Their defense isn't that bad either. Just the one thing that would kill Joe Burrow is the offensive line, but they keep trying to improve it every year, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. We haven't seen this group on the field yet, but, adding a Brown Jr., man, I think that's going to help them get over the hump a lot. I think that, is really going to help them here. But this Bengals team, they fell short in the AFC Championship. Very close game, but they could not pull it out, man. It sucks, but that's what happened. They did beat the Bills in the second round. They tried to go to back-to-back Super Bowls, but they couldn't, which is still a very hard thing to do. Back-to-back Super Bowls, going back-to-back, just making the Super Bowls so hard that, it's something that's not going to happen all the time. So they took their L. They made it to the Conference Championship, which is still a great achievement, and they still have a very good team. The Bengals are absolutely loaded, and they're only going to get better. Joe Burrow hasn't even entered his prime yet. Jamar Chase, I think, is going to have his best year of his career this year. It's going to be a very interesting team. They have Joe Mixon, who's an absolute stud, man. They have a very good team, and I think that they have a chance to go back to the Super Bowl. I think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I mean, all these teams really do, but I really do think they have a chance. Joe Burrow is so clutch. I think he's a little overrated in the postseason, but, man, he wins the games, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So that's why the Bengals are at this number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles really surprised everyone this year. We knew they were going to be good, but we did not think they would be this good this year. Jalen Hurts absolutely humbled me. Jalen Hurts was one of the best quarterbacks in all football, man. He was absolutely phenomenal in the air, in the ground. One of the best leaders in all football, too. He was absolutely amazing. He absolutely torched teams this year. He was an MVP candidate, and he was one of my favorite players to watch this year, to be honest with you. Absolute stud this year, and I think he's going to continue to get better and better. I really like Jalen Hurts as a player and a person. He's what you want in a quarterback, and he was just, like I keep saying, absolutely phenomenal. Also, the Eagles have, one of the best defenses in the National Football League, alongside the best offensive line in the football league, Also had a great running back team, great running back. They had great, like I keep saying, great running backs. Dallas Goedert, tight end, receiver room was absolutely loaded this year. But yeah, man, they were an amazing team, and they just absolutely torched the league this year. They were absolutely phenomenal, and I could definitely see them getting back to the Super Bowl. The NFC is very weak right now. I think teams like them and the 49ers will be able to dominate, but it's really down to those two teams in my opinion. But I think they're the favorites right now, man. They really have a good squad. They have it all, man. They can run, pass. They just got DeAndre Swift, who, when he's healthy, DeAndre Swift's a very underrated player, and he's absolutely phenomenal. He's one of those guys you want on your team. But that's why the Eagles at number 2. They are absolutely loaded, and they're just a great team to watch, man. Everything they do, one of the best defenses in football, man. Great D-line, great linebackers, great secondary. I mean, they did lose Gardner Johnson, which is going to be a big loss, but and Hargraves, man. Those are two big losses, but they definitely replaced. They did get one of the best players in the whole draft, Jalen Carter. I don't know what they're going to do in the secondary. I haven't paid attention to the Eagles too much, but I know they'll fix it. Howie Roseman's a good GM. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. There's no other team we could have put here, man. You have to put the Super Bowl winners at number 1. They had the best quarterback in the league, best tight end in the league, and what Mahomes does is absolutely crazy. He can win with whatever. I'm really excited to see what the Chiefs do this year because, honestly, their receiver room, man, they lost McCole Hardman and Juju Smith-Schuster, but I really want to see Justin Ross, man. Justin Ross had so much potential in college, and he has a chance to be, I think he has a chance to be an absolute dog in the NFL, but it's just going to depend on how he develops, They have some great players, too. Kadarius Toney, when he's on the field, is absolutely amazing. And they also have Sky Moore, which Sky Moore is pretty good, too. Their O-line isn't the best, They have a decent defense, They have Chris Jones, which one of the best defensive linemen in the game, man. They have some great players, and it's going to be interesting to see the Chiefs this year. I don't think they'll go back-to-back, but, man, you can never doubt Patrick Mahomes. That man is so insane. He's one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. He can do everything, dude. He can run, throw, The plays he does when he's just moving around, just absolutely insane to watch. It is just magical, man. It's like watching a magician, man. He's just so elite at what he does. They also have Travis Kelce, too, which that duo is so much fun also. That's a great duo to watch. And they are just absolutely amazing tandem. And I cannot wait to watch them next year, It's going to be so much fun this next year, this whole season. But if you guys are new to the channel, please drop a sub, man. I really, really want to hit 350. We're at 348 right now. I really would appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. Comment any recommendations down below. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day, all. Peace.